Welcome, I'm Claudette, Stamping with MsPuff. Thanks for joining me at my creative corner. And I'm just going to make sure that I am set up here in the right direction. I'm going to be checking here on my other computer. My mother-in-law just turned 80 this week. So we're having a family retreat this weekend. So I decided I'm going to make some Easter boxes for the kids. So I'm going to show you how I put together this Easter box. This box was inspired by another paper crafter designer called Poodles. So what we're going to do is start out with regular cardstock. We're going to use white cardstock. And our cardstock here, this one is measuring 11 by 8.5. So you're going to get 2 boxes out of this one. So this is 8.5 by 11. So then what you're going to do is just cut it down 5.5. And so then that's going to give you your 2 boxes. So you're going to I went ahead and cut those. So you're going to have your 2 halves here. So I'm going to show you how I scored those. And this is the trimmer here. It has a scoring device and a cutting device. And it has this arm out that stretches out this way. And we have this is by Stampin' Up. We have a newer model trimmer. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I have my score blade. Make sure I am in view. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is scoring at 2 inches. Let me see, where is my... So this is my little sample right here. So we're going to score at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches, okay? And then we're going to score at 4. That was 2. We're going to score at 4. We're going to score next at 6. We're going to score, and I'm going to just put it up here so I could see the 8 where the bar goes over. Then we're going to score at 8 inches here. Okay, then we're going to turn it around this way, and we're going to score at 2 inches. And this trimmer is nice because the line goes all the way down, so you could follow your 2 inches down. So we'll score at 2 inches. Okay, so therefore, so you did score, we scored 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches. So you're going to turn it over in the backs, flip it over, like, or turn it long way, I should say. And then you're going to score at 2 inches there. So what we're going to do is take our bone folder and just crease those score lines. Like I was saying, most of the time, how many people send out Easter cards? I typically don't, as I said before, but I like treat boxes. So we make sure we got all those there. And that's going to be our box. And so what we want to do is cut. Let's see, my scissors here. So this little end right here, let's see if make sure I'm in view. You want to cut this end here off, okay? So I'm just going to cut it here in a little angle. And then cut up. And then on this corner right here, I'm just going to cut it at an angle as well. And so you're going right to your score line there. And then your short little boxes here where I said these solid lines, you're just going to cut into those right there. So you're just going to cut up to the 2-inch line. Then you're going to get some designer series paper. And your designer series paper, let's see, where did I put mine? Your designer series paper, you're going to cut those 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. Okay. So I have some designer series paper here, and you're going to cut 4 of those. And I'm going to put these up, the papers and more, the directions and how I cut, what papers I use on my blog, okay? So if you want to check out my blog, it's MsPuffCreativeCorner.com. And when you're cutting your paper, and if you have a design on there, I wanted the diamonds to be going vertical, not horizontal. So you want to make sure you cut your paper in the directions that you want your designs to go, and you want them in the same direction. So you want to be mindful of that. So when I cut this section, I cut this lengthwise there at the 1 3/4. So this is 1 3/4 that way, okay? And this side is 3 1/4. So what we're going to go ahead and do is glue our 4 panels in this right here. So we're going to get our multi-purpose glue and glue those in. I have a nice design on the opposite side too as well. Alright, let me get unclog my glue here. to pierce that to unclog my glue. This design paper we have in several different colors, and they come 6 by 6. All right, let's see. Try to center that there. You want an even amount of white on each side. And you want to make sure you measure up with your first panel and so forth. All right, so next what I'm going to do is get some layering ovals. So we have our layering ovals that we have by Stampin' Up. So they come with the scallop and the plain, so we're going to go ahead and use these. So you want to choose two. So I'm going to choose these two right here. So you want the size up of the scallop to go over that one oval there. So you want to put the oval, so this is the bottom of the box, how you want your hole to be right there. So what I did, I went ahead and cut out the oval I'm going to use. Let's see, I'm going to use this color so you could see here. So I cut out an oval, and so this is a positive part right here. And I'm just going to center it where I think I want it to be. And then when I put my oval, I'm going to run it through the big shot like that. So I could have an idea of where I want my hole to be. So I'm going to take a glue dot and glue that down into place. And you don't want it too close to the bottom to mess up your designer series paper. Just gonna pull it up just at the wee tad. All right, so we'll bring in our big shot to cut those holes, those ovals. Hopefully it'll be in frame here. So this is the big shot here. So I'm just gonna put this over, lay this over right there. Making sure you could see me. I'm gonna sandwich that. You know what I'm going to do is get some tape. You could use washi tape to just keep that in place. And then we'll run that through the Big Shot. I'm hoping you guys could see me. I see it right there. Let's see how this came out. I'm ripping my paper off. It's nice to just, when you're using your washi tape, like just tack it on your skin so some of the oils could take some of the stickiness off here. See if I could take it out off without doing too much damage. So what we're gonna do next is, so we want to make sure that the ovals are even. So I'm going to bend that in like that. Take another one of the positive spaces and just put that in there. Kind of line it up. I thought I had a glue dot. It didn't get on there. There we go. So you want a glue dot on that. Put that in there. Line it up. And then run that through the Big Shot again. So we're going to continue to do that. Bend it. You're going to put your positive oval cut out pieces. Let's see, I have a couple. And run it through your Big Shot. Or your die cutting, whichever die cutting machine you have. We have one more to go. So there we have our 4 oval cut out. So now what I'm going to show you is how to do the scallops to decorate those ovals. So you get your white piece of cardstock, because we're using white for design. And you just have to see what I did with my oval. So you're going to take that same oval, size oval here, and you're going to run this through the big shot. So once you get that, you're gonna take your scallop and you're gonna put it right over that, and so you want just a little skinny piece of scallop, and you just have to be careful that the edges are equal, because sometimes if it gets too close to the inner piece, it could tear it apart. So you want to put that on there, and try to use your washi tape to keep it in place, and then you'll run that through the big shot, and then once you run it through the big shot, you'll have these. They'll come out that way. So I already did 4 of those. So we'll go ahead and glue those scallop pieces on. And I just need to get my silicone mat. Here. My silicone mat, my multi-purpose glue. I'll get a little bit of put some glue down on the silicone mat. I have a little sponge right here. And I'm going to get a little tweezers. So we're just going to add some glue to the back of this. And then we're just going to lay that over the oval. So we do that 3 more times. Do it without my tweezers, because it was sticking too much to the tweezers. So I'm doing this video kind of late. I don't have to go into work till later in the morning. Any other night owls out there? Alrighty. And so let's put our box together now. So what I'm going to do is put double side tape on this end right here. I'm going to try to come up to the seam, the crease. Let's see if I use my piercing tool there, and let's see here. Gonna go ahead and marry these two together here. Varnish those a little bit more. And then we'll glue the bottom of our box down, and we'll use multi-purpose glue for that. Seeing where it will be my front, so that's the back right there. And let me just varnish that inside, and then we'll put the, so this would be my front right there. A little bit of glue right here. And I'm just gonna put this in my little bottle glue in there and make sure that sticks together and square it up. There we have our box. So now all you have to do is decorate the front of it. So I put some candies within the bag and this is, let's see, the color that we're using is Seaside Spray, and they have a ribbon to match with that. And I just put some candies in there with our ribbon. Then I made this little tag to go, and the oval dies, those are nice to make Easter eggs. So we're just going to go ahead and tie this tag maybe. On there, and I went ahead and stamped up some flowers, or a flower. So I used the flower from here, Thoughtful Blooms, and I used the Seaside Spring ink. So I stamped one on just some white cardstock, and then one on some Seaside foam cardstock, and then you have the little bloom punch, and I went ahead and punched that out. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you think that it is so cute. Thanks for watching. So I went ahead and cut that out using the bloom punch. Let's see. If I could get it centered. I just want an even amount of white. And then what I did is I took my piercing mat, put that on there. And I used my stylus and just rubbed there in the middle so I could give it some dimension. Pop it up there a little bit. And I am going to take some blinks, a rhinestone, and just add, let's see, a rhinestone to the center of that flower. And we're going to take a glue dot and just come down here to the bottom of the box and put that glue dot, that flower right there to the bottom. And so I did a flower, but I had stamped it on the Seaside Spray cardstock. But I think I like the white one instead. And the so that's with that one there and the one that I did earlier, and those are those two that I did. And I use the Fable Friends for the little bunnies. Okay, and I use a larger oval from, depends on what size you want your eggs, and so that I stamped up a larger oval. I'll just show you quickly and how I created just one of the tags. And let's see. So we have a decorative mask that we use, and this have some dots on there. So what I did, so you could take your masking tape again and you put it to where you want, height where you want your dots to be. And then you put this over there. And what I use is some makeup blending brushes. Let's see, where is the one that I use? All right, and so you could get, I had gotten some makeup blending brush from Amazon. You could get 5 of these for probably less than $10. And we're going to use our Seaside Spray ink. Just make sure we're centered. And it's good to maybe even tape this down because it moves, so your dots won't get out of place. And hold it down there, and you just want to blend off first and then come in. Just so you get a gist of the idea of how we created these tags, or how I created these tags. So these oval dies are, I think, awesome for the Easter holidays. Let's see if I could get that up. Okay. And then what I did is I took the Stitch So Sweetly Sweetly dies, and I used this one die right here, and I cut that out in the same color, the seafoam color. Is it? Did I say it right? Seaside Spray color. So I cut that out using that. And then I took from the Itty Bitty Greetings, and this one I did Itty Bitty Greeting Easter Blessings. Let's see, I'm just gonna punch that on a scrap piece of cardstock using basic gray. So I'm going to take one of the label die punches here and punch out the that, center it. Punch that out. And like I say, I'm going to try to post this up on my blog in a couple days with all the stuff that I use here. And so what I'm going to do is just cut this down here. And then what you do is you take some glue and then you glue that on that way. You cut yourself another piece here. And you glue those both. Let's see, I'll just do that here right quick. Hopefully I'm in the center, you guys could see. And so you have it like that, so it gives you that edge border, that scallop border. Then you want to take dimensionals. You want to take your mini dimensionals, pop those up in the back. And then you want to put that down there and cut it. But before you do that, what you want to do is get your little bunny rabbit. See, where did I put that stamp? There we go. And you want to stamp him in Memento black ink, because when you use your stamping blends, which is our alcohol markers, it's best done with this type ink so it doesn't bleed. And again, that is from our Fable Friends. So let's see here, the Flirty Flamingo, we have our blends in light and dark. I'm just going to do his ear, the inner ear, with the Flirty Flamingo, which is pink. And I am going to use the ivory color and the light crumb cake to color his fur. Just come in with maybe a little darker here to the edges. And then I'll use some Pool Party to do his little jacket. And that's, you're gonna fussy cut this little bunny out. You'll fussy cut him out. And you just need the top half here. You're gonna fussy cut him out. Anyone sends out Easter cards? I typically don't. So, and then what I'm going to do is take what I did is I took my piercing tool and my sponge. Let's see if I find that piercing tool. And I just put a little hole right here. And then you're going to take get you some twine, some baker's twine. So I just got some white baker's twine and ran it through here before you put your bunny down. Let me see what I did with my white twine. Let's see if I could thread this. So you just take some twine, put it through here. Just grab any twine. Then you're going to take your bunny. See, I'm going to pop him up too. Let's pop him up on some dimensions. Your bunny there. And just put your, and then so you're going to put your greeting there, and then you're going to just turn it to the back and cut off the extra pieces, the pieces that's overhanging. And there you have it. That's your little tag. So that's it, guys. Like I said, I'm going to put the directions, the measurements, the paper that I use, everything on my blog. And it is right here, MsPuffCreativeCorner.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time.